Imagine you're working in the oyster industry, and as time goes on, your annual gets lower and lower. You must move to a smaller home and your bills are due. But there's no shellfish. The Pacific Northwest oyster industry has lost more than 3,200 jobs from the increase of acidity in the water. Today I'm going to discuss with you all the alarming rate of our deteriorating ocean and how we can solve this issue. After reading countless articles and watching videos, I've learned about how 70% of our ocean is deteriorating at an alarming rate. It contributes to most of our valuable resources and is the main reason we have clean air and are fed and even provide job security for millions. Ocean acidity is one of the main contributors to our deteriorating ocean. As we burn fossil fuels, we don't just pollute the air, but the ocean. Today's seas absorb as much as a quarter of all man-made carbon emissions, which changes the pH of the surface water and leads to acidification. Oceans are now acidifying faster and faster than they have in 300 million years. By the end of the century, if we keep the pace we're at now, the ocean will be 150 times more acidic than it is. The ocean chemistry is basically out of whack. Coastal economics that depend on them are going out of whack as well. To build their shells, skeletons, creatures like mussels, clams require calcium carbonate. But the ocean's carbonate levels are going down when acidity level rises, threatening the survival of these animals. The bottom of the food chain animals are also affected. The ripple effect leads to the fish, seabirds, and marine animals. More acidic waters are also to contribute to bleaching of coral reefs, which makes it harder for some fish to find predators or hunt for prey. The billion-dollar American shellfish industry is the economic backbone of coastal economies. From Louisiana to Maine, harvests linked to more acidic waters are estimated to have cost the Pacific Northeast oyster industry $110 million and 3,200 jobs. Plastic is also an effect to the ocean. As plastic is one of the main things we use, it persists in the environment for a millennium. The single-use grocery bag, water bottle, drinking straws have an estimated of 8 million metric tons of plastic. When we don't recycle this plastic, it does not biodegrade. The noise in the ocean is also at an alarming rate. Sound waves travel farther and faster in dark seas than they do in air. Many marine mammals like whales and dolphins rely on this communication by sound to find food, mate, and navigate. Increasing human-generated noise, polluting and alternating underwater acoustics, landscape, harming and even killing marine species worldwide. Never-stopping noise of roughly 60,000 commercial tanks and container ships that ply at the sea at any given time. The racket results in some kind of smog that reaches nearly every corner of the ocean and shrinks sensory range and marine wildlife. High-intensity sonar used by the U.S. Navy for testing and training causes some of the same effects and has been linked to mass whale stranding. The blast leads some commercial fish species to abandon their habitat. This is a direct hit on the coastal economies, depending on catch rates, and they also injure and kill marine invertebrates. Oil and gas are also emitting at a toxic rate. Oil can linger for decades and do irreversible damage to delicate marine ecosystems. The '89 Exxon spill in Alaska oil still remains. BP Deepwater Horizon offshore drilling disaster in 2010 spread gallons of oil through the Gulf of Mexico. Even smaller spills pollute the ocean and air with long-lasting impacts. Even the most advanced cleanup methods and efforts remove only a fraction of the oil that remains. People are also dying because of water pollution. Mismanaged waste is causing hundreds and thousands of people to die each year. Plastic waste is adding a new and dangerous emission to the problem. Waste frequently goes uncollected in poorer countries and builds up fuel and spreads disease. This has been an issue for a while, but plastic pollution is adding a fresh set of problems to the already dire situation. Every second, a double-decker bus load of plastic waste is burned or dumped in developing countries. When some plastic deteriorates, they can leach harmful chemicals into the environment and break down to microplastics. Sir David Attenborough in Blue Planet 2 says, "It's a high time we turn our attention fully to one of the most pressing problems of today, averting the plastic pollution crisis. not only for health, but for our planet. The well-being of people around the world, he says. This report is one of the first to highlight the impact of plastic pollution, not just wildlife, but also on the world's poorest people. We need to fix this issue. Water pollution is a crisis, and we can start from home. We can recycle our plastic, be more mindful of our consumption, and support the works of the NRDC and other environmental advocacy groups. Thank you. Have a good day.